Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and welcome everyone, and my mic's a little hot tonight. I'm hitting the yellow. I might need to turn that down. Hi everybody, Scarefest TV is coming your way tonight, January 13th, Friday the 13th, as has been pointed out to me constantly today. But hey, welcome to the show. Now tonight, we're having a mini council meeting. I've got Adrian on the line with us. Brandon originally told me he was going to be out of town, but he's doing something social work, so it doesn't matter. Either way, Brandon could not be with us tonight. He bailed. But then again, I did kind of sneak this in on him in that it's normally the first Friday. So I said, well, I need to cut him some slack. He may have rearranged his entire schedule to be on last week, and I had something else planned. It happens.
He didn't know what week it was.
What we're going to now, okay, start the show off. I have 2 celebrity announcements. And we're going to talk about that. This might be a record for the number of unannounced celebrities within the first week after we started announcing celebrities.
Oh, yeah, probably. We've got quite a few. We have to space them out a little bit.
That's right.
So we don't have lulls in the spring or in the summer, but yes, we have quite a few guests booked already for this year.
So yeah, 2 celebrity announcements at the bottom of the hour, and of course, if you have not heard the brouhaha, everybody, yes, VIP tickets are on sale. Some of them, because some of them have already sold out, haven't they?
Yeah, we put our platinum tickets on sale at 7:30, and at 7:33 they were sold out. Those are for on-site platinum, so yay for that. And we do have off-site Clarion Platinum still available. I would say they will sell out pretty quickly too, but they were not as in high demand as the on-site tickets. So there are, or were, as of a few minutes ago, still some available.
Because there are a lot of people out there that, like myself, want to be able to stumble and get a public intoxication going to their hotel rather than take the shuttle. Yeah, so.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a story about the offsite, the Clarion Hotel Platinums. There are still some left, so calm down. But yeah, Hilton, poof, absolutely poof, went quick. Where do we want to start tonight? Basically, we're going to try to fill people in on the things that we don't have quite ready. But
Hey, I don't have a script. I have nothing written down. I don't even have a piece of paper with me, which I never do the scripted way. But I honestly didn't even give any thought to what we would talk about tonight. We normally just kind of like wing it, and it works.
Okay. But now usually we have Brandon to sit back and drop names just in case, that kind of thing. So, and everybody, now, okay, here's a couple, well, actually, I'll save them for the half hour when I'm doing announcements. I do have a couple of announcements beyond the celebrity announcements that we can talk about. Some things that are not announced yet. First of all, you may stop messaging us about when tables go on sale.
Yes.
We have posted it. Now, pre-sales are going on. But the actual sale of tables goes live, I believe, February 1st, right? Isn't that what we've targeted? So, if you're interested in vending, and I realize most of our vendors will never watch this video because That's the way things
Yeah.
work. You know what prop I need? I need a can of gasoline. I need a can of gasoline. Oh, I've got one out in my garage. Yeah. But everybody, that's an inside joke about being prepared to burn bridges, but we won't go there. But anyway, so yeah, if you're looking for vendor tables, that we've got them targeted. Now, the one thing, do we have a date from Lori on when volunteer apps are going to go up?
No, I think you and I are supposed to go on there and look at the volunteer app. Lori's already done the additions that she wanted to do,
Okay,
and
then it's good.
yeah,
Click the goddamn button. Jeez, anything.
we're the holdup, we're the problem.
Yeah, okay.
It's me.
Okay. Yeah, I totally blame it. Because, okay, once again, everybody, anybody that was Scarefest talking to me last year, lane me. I'm trying to stay in my lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just get in trouble when I even
I thought-
veer out.
Saying blame me. I was like, oh yeah.
No. Lane, Lane.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, so we'll get those two things. So yeah, I know we always have some of the staff show up. We promise. That'll be something we target to do this week, since you say she's already got it all ready, and so we'll target to get that done this week. Now, everybody, I actually ought to go back to Adrian's post in the group where you ask about what type of events people would like to see.
Yes.
Okay, we are considering shaking things up a bit this year and bringing in some new fun-filled activities. Some of them sound kind of goofy to me because I'm an old curmudgeon, as everybody likes to point out. But yeah, so in the chat room, I'm going to kind of watch it here. If you've got an idea, drop it in the chat room so I don't have to go on Facebook and look it up. But do we have any that have caught enough traction you think that we could go ahead and talk about? This is in planning stages, people. Nothing tonight is promised.
Well, there's something that I'm going to be announcing event-wise after the bottom of the hour.
Right, yeah.
We'll have one event thing to talk about after we do the guest announcement that will be brand new this year. And then another thing that we were kind of talking about just in our, Wes and I, with Brandon and Nicole, we were kind of talking about maybe some of the events that we've been doing for the last several years, taking a year off. I don't know, we may do some polls or something in the group. Mm-hmm. We just want to, put some new things out there. I'm trying to think. Everybody has been talking about how they really did like the scavenger hunt for the trading cards.
Oh, I know we'll do that again. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. So everybody that's been commenting about that, we are already in the works.
We have to do it because Terrence promised me a card next time.
Good.
Because
I'm not sure about this. I've got to talk to Terrence about it. So last year, Terrence created all the artwork. He designed the cards. He printed all of the cards. He did everything. It was all Terrence Muncie. Now, what I'm thinking, I might ask Terrence if he would like to bring a couple of artists in to do like a guest card. So some of our other artists that come to the show, letting them submit a design to him and have their artwork in some of the cards too, and that way we can include more of our artists. But I'm going to ask Terrence about that and kind of see what he thinks. And also, I know there wasn't a West card. We had a redo of cards, and the West card did not get done. But one thing that I am thinking about, because so many people wanted their own trading card, I've been talking to Terrence, and I think we're going to run a it's not exactly a contest, but Terrence does what's the word where you commissions. He does commission artwork. So we're thinking anybody that gets a commission piece done through Terrence between like now and the end of September will be entered into a drawing to have their card at Scarefest. So I'm going to talk to him a little bit about that, because that's a really great way to support Terrence's work. And the commissions are pretty cheap. I think they're like $50 or something like that. It depends on what you want and the size, and some of them would be more. So that's something that I'm thinking about talking to him too. And then that way you would maybe have a chance to get your face on a card at Scarefest. Wes gets one just because he's pretty. Also, can you all like back me up on this? When I joined the video, I told Wes, I was like, Wes, your hair looks fantastic tonight. I guess maybe he smoked a few extra cigarettes this week. I don't know what's going on there, but doesn't Wes look great tonight? I'm really nervous about waiting to book a room. Is there just...
Okay, as far as how I look tonight, no one should say, yes, you look great tonight, because then that means you're comparing me to how I normally look. And that would... See, I don't take compliments well.
I think you look fantastic all the time.
See, now you throw that out there. No. It's too late now. Too late now. Yeah, she's already, because I've washed my hair. So anyway, okay, question from the chat room. Do we have, that is something that comes up a lot. What is our timetable on starting to get some hotel codes out there? Do we have a time?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to make a post about this, guys. Just like we couldn't get a block at the Hyatt last year, I've called several hotels trying to get some room blocks sorted, and nobody wants to give us discounts because the weekend is so busy. People are already booking rooms. They're already seeing a lot of traffic going in for the weekend. So and it's not anybody's fault for booking their room early, but people started booking their rooms early, and the hotels, so now they don't want to give discount codes because they know that we sell rooms.
What she's trying to say in a nice way is, you all shot yourselves in the goddamn foot. In other words, now you got to go through the whole room, or if we announce it, you'll have to, once we do get some codes, then you'll have to cancel your other room, or, whatever. So, yeah. But on the hotels that are saying no, that's what you got. See?
And I, just like it was last year, there are people booking their room a lot earlier this year. I would, if you are able to get a room on hold that is cancelable, go ahead and get your room put down. Just go ahead and do it. Do it now. I was saying this in like June last year, and it's January, but that's how it is. So you don't get compliments. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up in the chat over here. What about a blindfold taste test challenge with celebrities? I can think of a couple that might be crazy enough to do that, but also I know how demented some of us can be, and I think that we would probably give them some really gross things to taste, so I doubt they'd do it.
And for the record, R.A. Mihailov would send it back, whatever it is. That's another little management joke here.
That's true.
Anyway, let's see. So we're watching the chat room, everybody, if you have any questions. So no, Shanna, you do not get code for the hotels, because there are no hotels that will give us a code, because everybody went ahead and started booking rooms, and now they say, hey, guess what? We got retail. Retail. So we'll keep trying. There's some hotels around town. Maybe y'all haven't found yet. Who knows? But yeah, that's...
Now, I have a room block for the Clarion. Mm-hmm. I don't have any downtown hotels yet. And actually, I believe I forwarded you the email for the Clarion a couple days ago. Wes,
yeah,
you and Brandon.
I didn't look at it, yeah. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, as soon Wes and Brandon are the keepers of the website, and once they make a menu icon for hotels, we'll get that code linked up. But if you want to stay at the Clarion, you don't need that code. You can call and you can tell them that you just want to book a Scarefest room and do it through the front desk, is what our manager told me. So we have a large block of rooms out there. But now, we did sell out 3 weeks before the show last year. We filled up our Clarion block, and we had a ton of rooms there. So those will sell out, and they'll probably sell out earlier than they did last year by the looks of things. So
I would say you are correct. On that. We're at the time for our... Now, everybody, tonight, I've shook things up a little bit. Instead of some commercials. Remember last week when I asked for videos? Well, I got one, but it was long, so I split it up. So tonight we're going to be looking at Wayne Forkbeard's Scarefest video. Part 1.
Little Mike. Scarefest, Lexington, Kentucky, 2022. Hey, Michael.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. Y'all were awful quiet during the video in the chat room. I was hoping to have a whole list of questions ready when we came back, but I don't. So, we've said that we're probably going to now things that will not go away. Karaoke is not going anywhere. Everybody can calm down. That is a fixture for the immediate future, and I'd say, due to its success, we're probably going to leave the launch party alone. Has there been any talk about changing anything about that? I don't think so.
No, the launch party. So things that we are for certain, like we're going to have the festival running over there all weekend. The launch party, I believe we're going to be keeping the VIP lounge similar to what it was. Venue all ages. That was really cool. People could bring their families over there. What else are we keeping for sure?
I do need to correct you on one point, assuming Brandon did not lie to me this past week when I spoke to him about it. On the film festival, actually, everybody, right now, the plan is to move the film festival back to the center. We're still gonna have films over there, over to Lex Live for our party, for the nighttime entertainment, the big films, the features, as we say. Here's the issue. This is another one where people, this is your fault. We're not able to get enough traffic to go over to leave the floor, go to Lex Live during the day to make the I mean, it cost us about the same either way, but we want to give better exposure to these filmmakers. And we think that having it on the having a room committed to it downstairs, second level on the convention center, will play better to get the films the viewing that they deserve, like we used to. Honestly, the rooms used to be fairly full. They weren't overly big rooms, but the film festival rooms, we used to have a pretty good darn turnout most of the time. And at Lex Live, it kind of hits and misses. Follows a matinee curve, they said. You know, early in the day, not much. Gets better towards closing time for us. But so we're going to no, and okay, now somebody suggested the Kentucky Theater. No, we just said people won't walk across the street for it. They probably won't want to walk a block. So I'm going to put that out there, not being smart with you, as I've been accused of being this week. I'm just going to say that is why we don't do anything down there. Okay, now that's a good question. The Thriller Parade, when is it? We're not sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
They had talked about moving it back to Sunday, I guess. No, we're not in charge of it.
They talked about moving it to Halloween weekend.
Oh.
Is what I was told by Brandon, I think. I hate doing that because he's not here to defend himself.
But anyway, so we just, just ignore everything we just said except the part where I said we don't know. They are talking about moving it. It's outside of our purview. We're not in charge of that. But we honestly just do not know. I wouldn't think they'd move it to Halloween, though, because this is their traditional weekend, the weekend before. Yep. But then again, you know, crap happens. So.
Well, even if they are talking about moving it, I'm going to give the director of the parade a call and talk to her and see, you know, if we can influence that at all. And if we can, then we'll probably put the parade back on our weekend.
There you go. See? Power. You just saw power. Muscles being flexed, everybody. Muscles being flexed. Let's see. Yeah, somebody says that when we had the film festival at the convention, it stayed full. So that's what we're going for. Once again, financially, it actually will cost us a little bit more when we did the math on it, but it's not a make or break deal. Plus, so that now here's another good thing to put out to my people that are not watching the show, but will undoubtedly send me emails, which I've already got one. Send us emails about getting their film shown outside of the film festival. We're going to talk to Lex Live about making blocks of time available in the theater where they, meaning the filmmakers, can possibly show their film during the convention, but over there. I think that will, in other words, it'll be like adding a screen, everybody. That'll be the good thing about it. Will Scarefest have a float? Well, that depends, doesn't it, on when it is. If it's Saturday night, no. I'm just going to say it. No, because I guess we did last year technically, but it would be in doubt. I would put it that way. It would be in doubt because it does take our staff, our volunteers away from the actual convention, which they signed up for. Now, if they move it to Halloween, probably.
I can't see who said this in chat, but somebody in chat just said the roast of West Force. And I believe that we would end up with like an opposite roast, and Wes would be laughing maniacally and all of the audience would be fierce. So
do you all really want to open up the floodgates of the soul that is West Forsyth? When the roasting gets to do their little rebuttal.
when he is being sweet and in a good mood. On the best of days, he's prickly. You all don't see him when
You misspelled prick.
I'm active, by the way. And that's probably one of the reasons why I adore Wes so much, because he's just a little prickly, just a little bit.
No, the truth of the matter is, no, that would not work because I am not famous. And despite having my lovely, lovely fans here in the chat room tonight, if you were to do that, 99 out of 100 people would walk in the door and say, "Who the F is Wes Forsythe?"
Well,
I
and
know that.
you couldn't think of anything too mean to say because he would just be like, "Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true."
How many curmudgeon jokes can you make in an hour anyway? So yeah, that's pretty much how that would play out. I am going to start going through the see if there's any questions that have popped up in the group, the fan group. That's another thing. If you're on here because you saw the link somewhere else, look up the Scarefest Celebrities Horror Fandom and Halloween Expo fan group and get in there because that is the best place to get news and other stuff. And I open it up and it's all people asking for celebrities. Oh, by the way, Katie Followell, if you're listening, no, we're not getting Ewan McGregor. That's sci-fi, woman. Jeez. No, okay, but actually, you know what? Another name came up. Henry Winkler was the other name that came up.
Yeah.
Okay, now here is something. This is inside baseball stuff, but we actually try very hard to stay in genre. We don't do that because we don't think we can make money outside of it. It's out of respect of we'll call it our sister con, Lexington Comic and Toy Con. We have a good Comic Con in town. And if we start booking the guests that they're famous for booking, those type guests, it's a battle we don't want. No, I mean there are friends over there, and so we tread lightly around the edges of them, and they seem to return the respect to us.
Yeah, exactly. So, we should be posting that on Comic Con's Facebook because a lot of Scarefest family goes to Comic Con also. So we all could enjoy him there, but also Adrian wouldn't be completely gray and white-headed by the time the show gets here. But when she posted that, I had people literally texting me like, "Oh yeah, you should definitely do that." And I have a magic wand and I can just make that happen. I'm like, "Yeah, sure guys, I'm going to get him. I'm going to call up my boy Johnny Depp that everybody keeps asking for and just ask him to stroll on into the show. Like, I'll work on it."
Now, one name that was thrown out, and I'm going to say this very delicately, Lee Majors came. He was a great guest. That was under other management. That was before.
Well, Lee came because Bruce was there, and we brought him in
True.
with Bruce. And Lee is from Kentucky, and he came to the show under very light conditions because he really enjoys being home in Kentucky. So that was just that was more when we booked Bruce. We booked some supporting folks to go with him, and we didn't really promote any of his other stuff besides the Ash vs. the Evil Dead that I can remember.
No. But that just because you can find an exception does not mean it's not the rule. So there, throw that out there, but I'm seeing a bunch of names. And yes, Henry Winkler was in fact in Scream as a victim, and he wasn't hot. So, people get killed every day. And now I could start throwing out names. I binge watched 2 weeks ago. The death of God. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. Okay. Final Destination. Binge watched all the I knew it had something to do with going somewhere. But I binge watched all of the Final Destination movies in a day and a half. Would have been one day, but The producer said, "Will you quit watching that crap?" In other words,
I had about enough of Final Destination for one day.
so,
Plus, I'm not going to be able to do anything because every time I go to do something, I'm going to think that no roller coasters anymore.
well,
No.
you know, anymore. She quit riding roller coasters when she was 18. So no, don't.
So did I. The thing is, it's like with all these like thrill-seeking activities, roller coasters, skydiving. When we went to LA and I rode in an Uber on the highway in LA, that was more adrenaline and anxiety than I could ever want to experience in my life. I don't need to go seek it out.
Exactly.
Now, now, chat. Here's something for the chat room. This has nothing to do with Scarefest. Well, I mean, it does in case we were to book somebody from it. But I've been binge watching the on Netflix. The Walking Dead. The last is this the last season? Do you all know that they've got on there?
I haven't watched it, but it's season 11, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And they're narrating it like it's the final season, so I'm thinking it's the final. And I'm gonna tell you, this might be the best season that they had, except for maybe the first one.
I'm gonna have to actually like watch it. I quit watching several seasons ago, but I don't know. Brandon keeps throwing around some names of some people who are in The Walking Dead, so I might surprise somebody and pull somebody from The Walking Dead. We actually have some really awesome potential guests this year. And, you know, it's difficult because once you have a Robert Englund year, it's like, oh, well, what's next? And everybody wants to do like bigger and better. And we're already floating around the top of the food chain as it is. So we have to bring in some really cool people. And I think that, I mean, if we can get them, if they're available, we've got some really awesome folks lined up. And I'm really excited about tonight's guest announcements and what we get to talk about after we announce them.
Which we're going to do right now. We're going to do the second part of the fan video, and then we're going to come back. We're going to do our announcements for the evening, and so we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to do announcements now. First off, our first announcement of the evening, Scout Taylor Compton, who incidentally, I keep wanting to call Scout Taylor Thompson for no good reason. I have no idea why. But Scout Taylor Compton is coming, of course, you know her from Halloween 2007, Halloween 2, 2009, and, well, The Runaways and American Crime. Did I pull up, make sure I opened the right one? Yeah, but though, there you go. Yes, Scout Taylor Compton. And of course, that'll be I'm sure, and this, if spoiler alert, that's going to go right into what Adrian is just dying to talk about. Our next announcement, you can't bring one without the other. Danielle Harris. Danielle Harris is returning to Scarefest. I remember when she was just a little girl, just like small, like.
She's still small.
Yeah, but now she is like a kid and runs around in lingerie, so I'm not allowed to cross streams there. Anyway, Halloween from 2007. Halloween 4 played a different character in The Return of Michael Myers Halloween 4 in 1988. So yeah, that's what we got going on there. So there's our celebrity announcements, and I'm going to tell you, yes, that is somebody. I don't even know why it took us this long to bring her back, because she gets asked for in the chat room every year, but I'm glad to see the two of them coming. Now, moving on, I mentioned it early in the show. If you want an off-site platinum, that means you get the hotel room, you get 2 tickets, but we do have the VIP tickets on sale until they sell out, which they could very well do during the show. Who knows? Now, here's one near and dear to my heart. The Scarefest Horror Film Festival is taking entries. We are now accepting entries, submissions for the Scarefest Horror Film Festival. You go to the links on the website. Incidentally, the only reason it's on the website is because after I found out we were open, I put it on the website. Just saying. I had no idea. So I logged in one day and there was a submission. So Scarefest Horror Film Festival, there it is. And the Central Kentucky Mystical Market is this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday, noon on Sunday, so that everybody can drink on Saturday night and still get out of bed and show up. So, that's going on this weekend. Clarion Hotel. Go in the front door. It's the paddock room now. We're in a different room through spring while they're remodeling our normal space. Go ahead. I also want to throw out there, media passes are live. Media passes are live. I've got that link on the website. Vendor spots are not open yet. They will open up February 1st for the general public. That was a question from the chat room. Volunteer apps will be on sale. Will be going out soon. We will be accepting those soon. But I think that's all the announcements, except what Adrian is just dying to tell you about special events. Yes. And very quickly in the chat room, yes, the plan is that David Howard Thornton will be doing costume photo ops as Art the Clown. Over to you, Adrian.
Christy, stop. Christy's texting me, and she knows I do this on my phone, and she's trying to make me blush, and it's working. She's like, girl, you so pretty. Stop.
Aw. Girls can do that. Guys can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they can.
No. Well, okay.
If we run out of things to talk about, I have my Scarefest posters from 2008, 9, and 10 sitting against my TV stand right now. And I wanted, Danielle actually is on there, which is really cool. I was looking, I need to hang them up. I moved. I've been in this house for 2 years now, and I barely have anything hung up. So I need to get them hung up. But I was looking at them, and like Gunnar Hansen is on there, George Romero. There's some really awesome signatures on those posters. So I might let everybody put those before we log off. But the thing that I am so excited to talk about. So now that you all know that Scout and Danielle are going to be coming to the show, the new event that we are planning for this year is going to be, some of you may already be familiar with Danielle and Scout's podcast. It's called Talk Scary to Me. and they are going to be doing the podcast live from Scarefest. It will be a ticketed event, and it'll be kind of like in it. I think right now I don't want to give out any specific details because we're not exactly sure, especially with moving the film festival and things like that. All of these things have to go into account together, but more than likely it will be at the convention center after the show on either Friday or Saturday night. There will be limited tickets sold to it. I don't know how many yet. But the girls come in and they host the show and they do selfies with everybody. They give out some merch. And I have heard from people who have been to one of these live podcast events, and apparently it is something you do not want to miss. So hopefully I'll have some more information about that soon, and tickets will go on sale for that.
And I would asterisk, especially if you're a dude. Especially if you're a dude. Just so you know. So yeah, that's we want to get that out there. So yeah, that is. No, whoever said that, no. But anyway. So yeah, we've done our celebrity announcements. We've covered everything. Yes, that's one of the events. And that's another thing, everybody. Every time we add an event, especially a high profile one like that, it really puts other events in a bind. In other words, we don't want to scatter both our staff and you people, because the year we had bowling and axe throwing on the same night, we caught hell. We caught hell. So when it's a celebrity interaction event like that, we do try to spread them out, and we're only there for the 3 days. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, and Katie, I'm getting word that Katie is heartbroken about you, and tell her she's welcome.
The bonus their show during Scarefest on the con floor.
That's what they were talking about. That's what they were talking about. I didn't even know what they were referencing. I forgot because I wasn't in that corner when they did it. No, not
bowling all into one. That would be interesting. Would we throw bowling balls at the target, or would we bowl axes?
I'm voting we throw bowling balls at the target, because I could still do that respectably underhanded. And I can't throw axes. I cannot throw axes because my bursitis acts up. So yeah, okay, we got that going on. Then I don't even know if we should tease it or not. It's funny because Adrian was pitching. Okay, Adrian was pitching one idea to me, and Nicole pitched a very similar idea. And now I don't even know where either version of it stands now.
I don't.
But okay, in the chat room, let's just ask: would you all be interested in some type of something similar to Campfire Stories, or one pitch was a pajama party, but I'm not laying on the floor.
Well, another one was like a lock-in.
Yeah.
And some people have done that. Like, we used to have lock-ins at our elementary school where you would come and like stay overnight and stay up late and have snacks and watch movies and stuff like that. So one of the kind of suggestions was sort of like a lock-in, but it would be a ticketed event. It would be hosted by celebrities. Yeah, the pajama party thing was put out there, and that's maybe still a possibility, but we were kind of going more for like a camp experience.
So that's but and have we always have lots of authors. In other words, we could come up. They would be original little short stories or whatever, and read once again by and hosted by some celebrities. And if it's a campfire, you know what it's going to be. I'm not going to drop a name because we haven't announced yet, but you know.
Is that what Scarefest is when you walk in?
That's what it
No.
feels like to
At
me.
some point, yeah, I was going to say, at some point, I do get to leave and sleep for 4 hours. And so whatever event's going on over there, you all can stay up all night. That's fine. But
Okay.
I have to get 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, well, okay. Before I go to break, I am going to say, because it was brought up by Will in the chat room,
Oh, yeah.
I am pushing for a ghost hunt because we have...
Whoa. He might say he's pushing for a ghost hunt. This is the first I've heard about it.
Okay, I only started pushing for it actually last night when Brandon said he didn't want to do a ghost hunt. Now, the reason, if you wait, that's the story of women in my life. They don't let me fully express myself before they throw a conniption fit. The reason I am pushing for it this year is we've already, some of the Paris celebs that have reached out to me are interested in doing one. And last year we had a venue that would have worked, would have been affordable. I think they were going to let us do it for free. I'm not sure. But anyway, it wasn't a question of price, but it was a question of how conducive it was to ghost hunting.
Yeah.
And so, but I've talked to them about it, and they think that would work just fine because, let's face it, and I've said it on the show 100 times, it's not a ghost hunt. It's a meet and greet with some celebrities, and you go out and you walk around a dark building for a while and get an EVP of the lady down in the bar downstairs screaming at her husband. Okay? That's how it works. Or we maybe will come up with another venue, but that is something that it's in play. I'll put it that way. It is in play. But yes, see, Adrian, we haven't had our daily meetings for like 2 weeks now. That's why you're out of the loop. Okay, we're gonna do our commercial break. Have Bonehead Weekly. By the way, everybody, you will enjoy this movie review. Joe has never done a more animated movie review than he does tonight. And when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's not an animated movie. Joe is animated. We'll be right back.
Horror. Movies. Fans. For. Life. On Facebook. Find us. For watch parties. For news. For memes. For friends. For life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly with another review, and this one's really recent. In fact, it's on Netflix, came out in theaters earlier this year in 2022. You can find it on Netflix. It's 2022's The Invitation. You know it's bad because I never get invited any place that doesn't suck. I'm just joking. Kind of. I don't get invited even to the places that suck. Anyway, here's the plot. After the death of her mother, this young lady, having no other relatives, takes a DNA test, one of those 23 forevers or whatever it's called, and it comes back that she has a long-lost cousin she never even knew she had. And he contacts her, and she finds out that she has been invited to England to a lavish wedding in the English countryside. So beautiful, so big of a manor it is. And her name's Evie, is seduced by the sexy aristocratic host. However, she's soon thrust in to a nightmare survival as she uncovers twisted secrets about her family history and the unsettling intentions behind all of them. Now, you mean to tell me that they just paid for her a first-class plane ticket all the way over to jolly old England when they just met her for one lunch so she could attend some wedding of somebody she ain't never not met before? That's right, ain't never not met before. This movie stars a lot of people that I don't know who they are. Natalie Emmanuel is Evie. She's the lead actress. Only person in this movie who I knew was Sean Pertwee, and he's a fantastic character actor who's in Dog Soldiers and a few other things that you would just love that are much better than this movie. I didn't really even know about it. It's directed by Jessica M. Thompson, who apparently cut her teeth, quite literally, on making another film that's much better than this that I haven't seen. It's also written by Blair Butler, whom I'm also not familiar with any of their work other than they wrote Hellfest, which I actually haven't seen and probably should watch. Is it any good? No, not really. It's one of those where you're like, did Miss Johnson's third grade class write this? It's PG-13, and apparently somewhere during the making of this, the director, Jessica Thompson, revealed that there's an alternate R-rated cut of the film that'll be on that was supposed to be on video on demand, and that they made her cut a lot of the gore and stuff for this. I don't know that it would help one way or the other. There's a lot of references to Dracula all the way through this. There's Lucy, basically New Carfax Abbey. Can I recommend it? No, I just can't. I'm trying to think of the positive things about it. The main villain, the main bad guy, has kind of a bitchy kind of death. There's not a lot of violence or anything that would keep you or just action or stuff going on. She kind of moans or bemoans that she wants to be with this guy whom she just met 24 hours earlier, who she's fallen in lust with. There's just not much to this movie that's very compelling or makes you want to do it. And the screenplay is just awful. Could they have done something here where there's these old vampires or goblins or anything, just pretend whatever it is, and you finally find out about them and they want you to come over and live with them and you've kind of a 23andMe. I like the concept of it. Problem is none of it quite works for this movie. So The Invitation on Netflix. Only watch if you're just really into vampires or Sean Pertwee, who's a fantastic character actor who also plays a bad guy in it, or you like looking at old castles. I do like looking at old castles, so I did enjoy part of that. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Skip The Invitation on Netflix. Don't accept the invitation. Tell them you're busy. You got another wedding somewhere in a holler in eastern Kentucky, and you can't be bothered with the British countryside or aristocracy. Yeah, tell them that.
And welcome back, everybody, to the last few moments of Scarefest TV for January 13th, 2023. So now I'm going to turn it over to Adrian because she's going to be showing off what she's getting ready to hang on her walls, and I got a few minutes to fill.
Okay, I'm going to try to adjust them. So this is 2008. Hold on, let me move that. This is the 2008 poster, which is awesome. There we go. Okay, and then let's see. 2009. There we go. There's some really cool stuff on here. I'll try to take pictures of them and post them. Oh, this is Danny Trejo, and I think this is Danny and George, maybe.
Too cool.
Is it just me, or did our posters used to be much busier than they are nowadays?
Yeah. We used to have a whole bunch of people on them. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. This was, so 2010 was George, Danny Trejo. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really cool people back at the beginning. We have a lot of cool people coming up this year, too. We just have to get some more details worked out and some contracts signed and make some more announcements on our lovely Scarefest TV.
Yeah, I could have really screwed up tonight, everybody. Brandon sent me tonight's announcements, and the very next text was 5 people that we don't have signed yet.
Yeah.
And if I had been reading in a hurry, I would have went, well, son of a bitch, we got a bunch of announcements to do tonight. So I didn't fall for it, Brandon. If you get word of this, I didn't fall for it. But so that's where we are. We Paranormal is coming along. I'll put it that way. Paranormal is coming along. We do have some leads. We do have some contracts waiting to go back to the celebs. We do have a direction, and we've got some really good possibilities out there. People that are, because I'm going to tell everybody, now this is to you fans. Last year, you all filling the building and being so nice and so much fun, word got around.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's made, it looks like it's making the paranormal side easier, but it's actually, I think it might have made the horror side harder, because everybody that came last year wants to come back. We're not saying they're coming back, everybody. God, if one more person asked me if Robert Englund is coming back this year. But it did make in that we've got a lot of good names popping up, but we still only have so many chairs, and isn't that always the case? We just never have enough chairs.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is like, and there was a couple of the things that we didn't talk about tonight that I am gonna like kind of briefly comment on. There very, very rarely do we ever get posts in our group that are less than savory, I guess. But I do want to say, because I had a couple of people ask me about a post that was made in the group a couple of days ago. We do not turn off commenting on posts. If there is negative that gets said in the group, we want to hear about it. We want you all to hear about it. And not only did everyone hear about it, everybody kind of jumped in there and, you know, explained why things have to change. Prices increase. We are not immune to inflation. And I just am really, really thankful for everybody who got some good information out there. But yeah, I just want to say that we did not turn off commenting on that post. That was done by the person who made the post. And I will not do it. Now, if someone gets on the group and real ugly, I will hide offensive comments or name calling or I mean, just not saying productive things or just being hateful. I will hide those comments. But as far as like, if someone has a legitimate complaint, we're going to leave it up there, because we will be as trans as you're legally allowed to be when it comes to
I actually thought about not turning off comments, just deleting the whole thing, because basically the guy called me a liar. And and that can hurt my feelings. And you know how sensitive I am.
But not just that, though, it became very apparent to me, and hopefully I think a lot of people, the reason why I won't take things like that down is because if everyone were to read through everything and they saw that every valid point that was presented to him was just not, the response didn't have any basis in reality. I mean, it is what it is. So you can't make everybody happy.
Basically, he says everybody, if you didn't read it, in a nutshell, we had to go up on vendor space, and we telegraphed this back in December. We knew it, we were doing the math, and it was painful. I'll put it this way: we practically had to talk Brandon into it to keep the con open. But the point is that before we did it, we actually checked with our competition.
Yes.
And made sure our prices were in line or lower than the other cons of our size and attendance. So we feel pretty justified in
Absolutely. And the thing is, like I said, you know, we have to go up on things. The show has to be able to pay for itself. We do not have corporate backing. The only thing that keeps Scarefest happening is the vendor sales have to pay for the building. The ticket sales have to pay for what's in the building. All the celebrity expenses, anything, and we have to pay for everything. And it's so expensive, and we understand, but it was painful, like Wes said. You know, Brandon would if he could do it, he would not charge anybody anything. But unfortunately, to have the show, we had to pass on the inflated costs to everyone else.
And I'm not, and do not interpret this as me as throwing the center under the bus. I've done it in the past, but I'm not doing it now. Everybody has to remember the new floor is 100,000 square foot. That's before you take a step out in the hallway. I mean, that is just that. And another point that this irked the hell out of me is he says 3 days, and guess what, people? It's 4 days because we're there. In other words, so yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and so yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Adrian. I wasn't going to because I was right in the middle of it, and like I said, he called me a liar.
And that's another thing, because we keep a group text going. Wes, Brandon, Nicole, all of us are in there. And Brandon sent a message. I didn't even know the comment thread was going on. It might not still be there. I don't know. He might have deleted it. But Brandon asked if he should, address the increase in booth price. And if anybody else was asking questions about booth increases. And I told him I'd had 2 vendors that I know personally, were friends, had asked me about the rate increase. And I told them, I said, the rate increase that we did on the booths was still lower than our rent increase, percentage-wise.
Another asterisk there, and we talked them down.
Yes, and the center did. They came down quite a bit off of the folks that we work with at the center. And I understand, corporations, they have a new management company, but the people that we sit down and have meetings with are amazing. They're wonderful, wonderful team that works with us and helps us put on Scarefest. They are great. And, so it was just something that we really struggled over. And when we've had to look at places that we can save expenses and where we can trim costs, because we didn't want to just drop all of this rate increase on everybody all at once. And that is why, if you all have noticed, all of our ticket pricing says early bird on there. We're going to have to raise the tickets a couple dollars too. So if you want last year's, actually a couple of the tickets are cheaper than last year's price right now for the early bird pricing. For the day passes and the weekend, I think they're $5 cheaper, but we will be raising those. We have to. It's just unavoidable, unfortunately. So, again, thanks everybody for sticking up for us and putting factual information out there. We are what made me stop taking it seriously is when he said that we were greedy, and I was like, if you knew one single person that works on this show, you would know how absolutely false that statement is, because the group of people that work in Scarefest and make it happen are fans, selfless and not at all greedy. You can't want more.
I should have just wrote down all the snarky comments I wanted to put on him, but I didn't do it because lame.
Yeah.
But for example, when he said greedy, I went, yeah, them goddamn greedy social workers.
So. That rescue animals. 100 orphaned animals in their home this year.
Yeah.
And just at every turn, if anything, the owners of our show try to, what do we call them? They're constantly trying to save everything and everyone all the time. So unfortunately we have to rein them in, and we're like, God, look, if we want to have Scarefest next year, this is what we have to, unfortunately.
That's people, that's what it comes down to. We have to be above the break-even point on the convention. I hate to break the news to you. That's the way businesses work.
Yeah.
That's, and that goes down to your smallest artist to Walmart. If Amazon's the only company that manages to lose money every year. I don't know how to do it, but
well, anyway, that's all. Okay. That's all I had to say. Thank you, everyone, for
Round of applause. I don't have my soundboard up tonight. So everybody, that's been Scarefest TV. I've got one more little chunk of the fan vid from Wayne Forkbeard. Thanks for sending that to me. And if you have a video and you would like us to show it, I'm going to watch it first because I don't trust you guys for nothing. But
No.
if you took a fan video and produced a little bit that you'd like shown, we will slide it into a show. Everybody, this has been Scarefest TV.